I need the rest.
you need the rest.
Mate, did not play old. Do you remember that? Tim Duncan.
Was there actually a...
He did not play old.
All right. Anyway.
DNP old. I reckon it was like 2013 or something.
2012.
2012.
Old.
And then he played another 5 years after that.
But he's sticking you and taking all your money.
Welcome to the Bronx Cheer Basketball Show. I'm your host, Nathan
We
Callan.
looked at the same time. That's what you've wanted for a long time.
And we looked at each other, did we?
Yeah, that was perfect.
I'm your host, Nathan Callanan, and this is my co-host, Jack Lynch.
I feel like that's what you've wanted for...
I've wanted forever. I always want that. I want
and
us
normally
to...
I just try and fuck around with you, but that was perfect until I interrupted you because I got so excited.
We just did a, you know. Jack, this is Jack Lynch, my co-host. Tired as always. Apart from tired, how are you?
Fucking Celtics won.
The Celtics. He walked in here, JL. What a fucking win, he says. What a fucking win it was. And Al Horford, who's
Daddy Al.
still on that Elton Brand $48 million a year contract. He played like it today, didn't he?
When we did our end of year awards, I said he probably won't win it. And I said there's a lot of criteria for this award and it changes depending on a lot of things. But I said Brad Stevens has every right to win Executive of the Year.
I was quickly thinking in my mind of what award
Horford
would have won.
Flipping Kemba Walker for Al Horford.
Genius.
That might be that could go down as the biggest move this season if Boston win it all. Which is a possibility at the moment.
Yeah. He's not worth $30 million.
At the moment he is.
He's not worth $30 million, but he is a damn good second big. He's probably the best second big. Is there a better technical? Because he's technically the backup, isn't he?
Everything.
Or does he start even when Thingo starts? He doesn't.
He's chopped and changed throughout the season, but most of the time he has been starting alongside Rob.
He has, as like the power forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd still call him the backup big. I like him as a backup center.
We play best when Rob's out. He's best as a small ball five.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I would say he's the best second big man option. Let's call it that. In the league and for a long time, like, you know, yeah.
He was playing for the Hawks as probably their second best player potentially in 2008 when they took the Celtics, who won the championship to 7.
Yeah.
It's now 2022, and he's still dominating.
He's just one of those players that, like...
Doesn't age. He's Tim Duncan all over again.
Yeah.
Obviously
and
not
he's
as good as
just
Timmy
very
D, but...
smart with everything he does is in his game, is in his bag. And
plays within himself.
Yes, and you might say, oh, well, sometimes the best players need to, you know, quickly find something that's not in their bag. And on one hand, I'd say that makes them the best players. But on another hand, some players who then fail at that, doing things that are not in their bag, it's to their detriment. Whereas Al Horford, within his means,
gets the job done.
Is a really great player.
Just gets the job done.
And he'll always beat you with his smarts and his means. And he's always had a good run against Giannis. You know, Giannis has gotten better and Embiid's gotten better, but Horford has had a good run against both of them. And of course, just put him in the green and he does well. And when
he loves Boston. His
Robert
family loves
Williams
Boston.
was it a very late out or just a normal?
It was announced a few hours before.
Yeah. He was out today with knee soreness. Is it the same knee? Did you look into this?
No, I didn't.
Because if it's the same knee, from my understanding...
I'm assuming it's not related given the lack of coverage about it.
Yeah, because if it's the same knee, I'm sure many people with, you know, the Google doctor were a bit concerned that Robert Williams came back so quick because that would mean that he came back via the basically, you know, patch-up route.
Mm.
Whereas what he would need...
Band-Aid technique.
Yeah, whereas what he would need, obviously talking surgical, is probably a more extensive surgery that would keep, or excessive surgery that would keep him out much longer, especially out for the rest of the playoffs. But he came back. It seemed like he took the quicker route, and him being out with knee soreness would scare me if I was a Celtics fan, because you don't want him to always have that. Basically, is the point.
And it's one of those things where I saw it out this morning, looked into it, didn't find much. I was like, oh, it must be okay, just a bit of soreness. And then the game started, and since then, it's been the last of my worries because Al Horford is carrying this team to a championship.
Okay, so
I'm just trying to find it now and can't find anything on it.
Anyway, well, let's start on the Celtics then. We were going to start in the West, but let's start on the Celtics, okay? So, for everyone that's joining us now, last week we did actually record, and it was straight after game 1 or 2 of pretty much all the series, but then technical difficulties and me being lazy and all that sort of stuff. And it was my birthday week. So my birthday was last week. So it was very hard. And anyway, last week's episode didn't get out. So this is the first time I think we're talking about these round 2 series. So we're sort of going to have to do a quick recap about the entirety. So
Am I getting paid for last week?
It's 2-2. Yeah, of course. It's 2-2.
For all series?
No.
Oh, no, sorry. I got excited. I said that today. I was like, fuck, it's going to be 2-2 in all
Yes,
series.
yes, so did I.
And then
I messaged my Warriors mate and I said, look, I need the Grizzlies to win just because of my perfectionism.
2-2. It looked good.
Yeah.
For a split second there.
Yeah.
And then Dillon Brooks came along.
Yeah. Anyway, so the first 2 games in Boston were split, and now these 2 games in Milwaukee have been split. We've gotten a bit of a... What are you feeling? There's been away games that are, road games that have been won, so the series has started.
Yeah.
Back to Boston for game
Level
5. How are you feeling going forward about everything?
When we're down by 10 in the fourth quarter today, I was like, this is the season done. That was it.
3-1.
Given that there's still no timetable on Middleton, of course, Coach Bud said it's a possibility for Game 5, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
2 games in Boston, I'm pretty confident now. I still am not putting all my eggs in my basket, and I've still been saying the Bucks the whole time I've been saying the Bucks. But there's the first time I've actually thought, maybe. Still leaning towards the Bucks. Boston just don't have an answer for Giannis, and today got very lucky in the fact that it was Giannis and no one else. Yep. Holiday had one of the worst games of his career. No one else stepped up. If that happens again, then, Boston series for the taking. But in terms of law of averages, I think when both teams are just playing at their, just average, I think the Bucks take it away. So it's just who gets hot. That's what it comes down to. Who defends better, who shoots better from 3, who gets to the line more.
The thing about the Bucks is that it's very much that it's, if you're going to really lock up Giannis, the threes are going to be there, the other players are going to be there. And if they miss or if they don't play well, then you're going to beat them.
Yeah.
Normally Chris Middleton helps with that sort of equation. But so what would you feel if the Bucks win Game 5 at the TD Garden?
Fucking shitting myself.
Now, would you think it's done?
Well, I thought it was done today when we're down. But, there's always a chance, but I think it's hard to beat this Bucks team twice in a row. Yeah. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Giannis, in the last 3 years, we've seen him respond to losses probably better than anyone else has in the league. Doesn't lose 2 games in a row very often. So, possible, but Giannis is just... He's just different.
Yeah.
It's unfair what he's able to do on the court. Just gets his way, gets to the rim, and you just hope for the best.
So is Game 5 a swing game? Sorry, I guess I'm sort of alluding to. Is it whoever wins Game 5?
Winner takes a series. I'm calling it there.
Yeah. Winner takes a series of Game 5. Okay. What else? Let's talk about some players. Obviously, Giannis is doing his thing with all the wall being stood up. Jaylen Brown had the worst game of his life in Game 1. He came back in game 2.
Game 2 was fantastic.
Yeah.
25 in the first half.
Yeah.
Then he's just been solid again in game 3. Today was a bit quiet. He's the perfect second option on this team.
Yeah.
His facilitating game has gotten a lot better. He takes over periods. He's not like obviously Tatum, for example, can take over a game. But, your best players typically have a 4-quarter performance and just sort of keep getting the job done and get hot when they need to get hot. Whereas Brown does it in a 5-minute block each quarter. It's just like, that's his time. He goes for it and then defers again, which works really well when Tatum's on the bench.
Yeah.
When it's, Brown's time to shine, he steps up. So, I know the Boston fan base, I feel like it's got complete faith in him to step up when the time's right.
How do you feel about Grant Williams this series?
Fucking unbelievable.
The first game, it was like, I don't know if this guy can play.
He's fucking unbelievable.
But then, since then, I think his body is perfect for the series. His size, his...
There was some tweet, I don't know who it was. Fuck. Was it a graphic that ESPN showed or something?
I don't know.
And it was points for Boston's big 3. And they're putting Grant Williams in Boston's big 3. I'm like, that's how good he's been. I feel so sorry for Grant Williams. He is defending Giannis like arguably as well as I've ever seen anyone defend Giannis at the moment. And he is getting the harshest whistle of all time.
Yeah.
This is going to come up eventually. I've got to bring it up. This referee in this series is fucked for both teams.
Yeah.
Game 3 was the perfect example. And you go on any social media and it is like a salt mine in there.
Yeah.
Because the Celtics got the heavy whistle in Game 3. We shot 17 straight free throws at one point. And a lot of them were there. But to shoot 17, that doesn't happen. That's obviously, to an extent, a poorly ref period of time in a game.
Yep.
So Milwaukee fans are furious that that's happening. But then Boston fans, on the other hand, are furious at the things that aren't getting called.
Yeah.
The Giannis pushes, the Giannis taking the elbows to the head. There's been multiple elbows to the head this series that aren't getting called in Boston's favour.
Yeah.
The push-offs, and if they were getting called, Giannis is playing less minutes because he's in foul trouble. So both teams are just fucking filthy and furious at each other. It's just, this is like the most toxic playoff series I've seen. And I saw the best tweet, and it was like, playing the Milwaukee Bucks feels like you're getting gaslit. Like, I go online and just everything is just, I get so angry. And I'm like,
there's something wrong with I was saying it before the show, there's something wrong with the officiating at the moment in the NBA.
It's fucked.
It just feels like, I know all sports have a bit of this, but it just feels like we've just got all the same refs. There's not like a system of like why not try a new system? Let's try a system where you are bad. Let's try someone new. How bad can a referee be? How bad can it's not a player. How bad can a referee's
Did you see what Ime
performance?
Udoka said? It was Bleacher Report came out with the article, which you don't really put much faith in Bleacher Report, but they quoted Ime saying the referees let him know that unless someone falls over, they're not calling an offensive foul.
Yes.
And that's fucked. And I've had this gripe. I think I've said this on the pod before, but if a player takes it square in the chest and steps backwards and stays on their feet, they never call a charge.
Yeah.
So you wait, put your weight on your heels, take the contact, lean back, get called a charge, which is stupid. The contact's the exact same. The force is the exact same.
That's right.
So now Marcus Smart's doing it to Giannis. And normally, when someone backs you down, you wait for the third bump and then you go. So Marcus does it on the first and gets called an offensive foul. And everyone's saying it's a flop. It's like, what do you want players to do when they're not getting a whistle?
Yeah.
You've got to adapt. Much like offensive players, do the lean in when they're not getting a whistle.
Yeah.
And the whole referee needs to be looked at and see what they can fix. And how good were the first 3 weeks of the season when they gave defenders a chance?
Yeah, yeah.
And we both said it. It's not going to last.
Yeah.
And it's gone straight. It didn't last at all.
Yep.
Like a man in bed.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, so the officiating's just all over the place. Like, you're talking about, like, some elbows and that not getting called. And then we look over to, like, today's series. I mean, every series, but today's series between the Warriors and the Grizzlies. And the whole... Do you think that Dillon Brooks should have been suspended for that?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think so. I don't even think it was a flagrant 2.
He wound up and hit him in the head.
Yeah, I know, but
It was a meter off the ball.
let's meet halfway. No suspension. The suspension is
No.
because he broke his arm because of landing.
No, I think that was a fair suspension.
Nah.
There's chase down blocks, and then there's that. And that is completely reckless. I don't think he had the intention of hurting him.
Yeah.
But you've got a duty of care as a defender.
I know,
That
but
you can't just throw your body at someone midair.
but
Like, if it was a push midair, you would, it's the same thing. He knew he wasn't going to get that ball.
Yeah, I know, but okay. But
How much do players hate if Dillon Brooks is standing there and used two hands to push him? Everyone would be like, that's a suspension no matter what.
But can you just like level with me and say that if he didn't break his arm, then it wouldn't have been a suspension? You know, it
And
wouldn't have
I
been.
think that's what's wrong with the league at the moment.
Nah.
No, I'm saying that it should. I think that should be a suspension no matter what.
Nah.
But I agree with you. I don't think he would have got suspended if it wasn't for the
Yeah,
injury.
but I just think anyway. I think there's a lot. Everything is getting. I mean, I don't want to quote Chuck, but everything is getting checked for a flagrant foul now. Absolutely everything. And I'll bring up, of course, the Sixers. Did you see Joel's hit on Jimmy Butler? They got called for a flagrant one. He's just gone to block it. It's just gone for a block. The arm comes out, hits Jimmy on the face. Flagrant one.
Did you see Al Horford they checked one and they didn't pay it today, luckily. But he dunked on Giannis. And then as he brought his arm down, elbowed him in the face. Giannis lays on the floor.
Yes.
That's right. When they lay on the floor waiting.
And
If I hold my head, I know you're going to check
That's
it.
partly what I'm talking about. Like things like you're trying to block, or even for example the whole offensive foul. Like even the thing that injured Joel, I would go as far as saying a lot of these offensive fouls that come from an elbow. Not Siakam in particular, but a lot of the time rebounding.
Incidental.
It's incidental.
Yeah.
And I just think everything's getting checked for a flagrant. The suspension is a nice little bow on everything. Whatever. I think that the what Jordan Poole did in theory is worse than what Dillon Brooks did.
The Jordan Poole one's odd because that's not... People are very split on that.
Yeah. And because it doesn't look like a lot. But why did he do it? Like
There's no one near the ball.
That's right.
People are like, oh, he was reaching for the ball. I'm like,
my only question is why
whole
did he
length
do
of-
it? He goes and just grabs his knee and pulls it. I don't actually think that's what Jar got injured by. I reckon Jar's injury actually... I saw a clip came earlier and he sort of landed on it awkwardly. Anyway, whatever. But the point is, I reckon that is more deserving of a suspension. He still did it, as you're saying. It's weird, but like at the end of the day, soft or not, he actually just grabbed his knee, pulled it sideways. That's something that's not a basketball play. A lot of these other ones, I don't know, because I think you're trying to protect players, protect the head, all this sort of stuff. But these things are never going to stop. Going for a block, the rebound,
incidental ones just need to be...
they're never ever going to stop. They're never going to stop. Why are we giving out flagrant fouls? A flagrant foul to me means you really shouldn't have done that. It's not part of basketball.
Deemed unnecessary is what they always
Right?
quote.
It's not part of basketball. It's unnecessary. They're never going to stop. These
Did you
players are
see the
never going
one?
to stop.
Who was it? Was it Xavier Tillman? Elbowed Draymond in the head going for a loose ball.
Yep.
And they reviewed it.
Yep.
And they didn't call it anything. But it's like, they spent 5 minutes looking at it.
Yeah.
And all it was, he was lunging for a ball and put his arm back because that's how you run.
Yeah. I just don't know what to say. Like, it's really at a bad place at the moment. And I think the old precedentness of it, I know precedentness is not a word, comes also with these old refs. As I said before, I just think maybe we should start cycling a few things, or a new sort of system about. Yeah, I don't know.
In cricket, how they have a third umpire.
Yes,
And it's an official umpire that sits behind the monitor. I don't know why the NBA has these crew chiefs and they all look at the video. Then the chief looks at it. They come together and they go, not sure. Let's look at it again.
What the fuck do they say to each other when they come together? Like,
How much camera time can we get?
What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
They just need someone, especially because the ref's ego is a part of it as well. It should be a ref that's not on the court, that hasn't made the call,
Yeah,
that just looks at it before they even come to the monitor.
that's right. Yeah.
And the decision should be made right then and there.
Yeah.
There's so many easy fixes.
Yeah.
But the NBA, they can get ads in for a review, so
Yeah.
they're not going to change it.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, all right. Well, let's get on to that series. Let's go over to the West. Today, the Golden State Warriors went up 3-1 against the Grizzlies. Last game, the Grizzlies couldn't get a sniff in San Francisco. Ja was the only thing keeping them in it. Ja was out this game. Grizzlies were leading it all game, and then the better
Warriors
players
shot fucking terribly.
the
The
better
whole
players
game.
won today in the end.
But my God, Dillon Brooks shot them out of the game.
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr. I didn't have a great shooting night, but like I didn't think he put up bad shots.
Yeah.
Whereas Dillon Brooks just
But overall, it was a very Memphis without Ja
what
game.
did we say early on? Memphis are going to struggle because they are so young.
Yeah.
And the last possession when
That's right.
Jaren Jackson Jr. put up that three, which I haven't seen a replay of it, saw a lot of people saying that was actually a foul, and I still haven't seen it. So I
No.
might have to sort of retract all this. But even if it was a foul, that was a stupid shot to take with
Yeah.
Draymond on you.
Yeah.
That was hero ball completely, and it's like it's
Wait,
not the right time.
the three or the back down?
The three where he got blocked, like the last,
the one
last
that got
hurrah.
blocked. Yeah.
But how is Curry's flop as well to get
Yeah.
there? Like this is the problem. And I feel like there needs to be coaches' challenges, but there needs to be flopping challenges as well.
Yeah.
Like if a player embellishes contact that much, like jumps completely sideways to get a rebound, which
Yeah.
ends up winning a playoff game, like that could have decided the Warriors and the Grizzlies series because Desmond Bain got the putback, ended up putting him up 3, but that was taken off, and then it was a 4-point swing.
Yeah.
Warriors won the game because of that, and it's like this is killing teams.
Yeah. Anyway, that game, in one way, when it finished, I'm like, oh, that was actually always going to happen.
It felt like that.
It felt like
inevitable.
it's that all game. The Grizzlies were like,
They were just holding on.
they were holding on, but they kept trading baskets. You know, the Warriors would come, and then the Grizzlies would extend it back out to 6 or 7 or something like that. But something was feeling like when it comes down to it, the Warriors have the veterans. This is going to be a veterans
You knew
win.
they weren't going to keep shooting
And
10% from 3 or whatever it was.
And that's and unfortunately, how devastating is it trying to play the foul game with like Steph Curry or Damian Lillard?
I said that today as well. And like normally I don't mind a quick 2, but when you've got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole on the court, and you're down. Well, they're down 5 or 4 at this point, or whatever it was.
Whatever.
And they've gone for a quick 2,
Yeah.
and then fouled straight away. And I'm like, you've just lost 6 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
There's only one way you get back into this,
That's
and it's
the
shooting
worst.
threes.
That's the worst. I felt sorry for the Grizzlies because I'm just like, you're just going to have
But you got to be
foul.
smarter than that. You can't just be like, oh, well, there's a 92% chance that Steph
Yeah,
hits both
yeah.
of these.
Yeah. That's it.
We'll take the risk. We'll see what happens.
Anyway, so the Warriors have now gone up 3-1 going back to Memphis. I'm not sure of Ja's status, but I would say this is going to be too much for Memphis. I really think this is a good matchup for Memphis, but just things are just going the way of...
You can tell the basketball IQ. That's the biggest
Yeah.
difference. Isn't that what we said? We've said that from the outset. They just aren't smart enough to win playoff basketball yet.
Yeah.
And this happens with every young team.
Yeah.
You have to lose a few to win a few.
And they've just got enough, apart from, as you said, IQ and veteran prowess. Is it prowess?
Prowess.
Prowess.
I'll pay that.
Yeah, veteran prowess. Apart from those two things, Steph. They've just got enough also. They've just got too much like good talent as well.
Yeah.
Like if Jordan Poole and Steph go crazy,
It's hard to stop.
yeah. So it could be done in 5 next game. But anyway, so that's Memphis against Golden State, the only series that's up to 3-1. Let's stay in the West. Phoenix and the Mavs. No one's won a road game, so the series hasn't begun.
3-game series.
It's 2-2. The first 2 games, the Suns, especially in game 2, the Suns really went at Luka. What was your pick and roll stat?
It was something like they went at him in a pick and roll as the pick and roll while he was the screen.
Yep.
His man screened.
Yeah.
And it was something like 54 times during the game. And I think they scored 1.4 points per possession on that.
Yeah.
Which is like comfortably the best offense in NBA history.
And he's slowly progressed as a defender.
Oh, definitely.
He's always going to be limited. He's got a stocky body, right? He's got a stocky, but it's not a PJ Tucker body. He's got a stocky body. He's always going to be limited.
Doesn't have quick feet.
Right.
He's got a quick first step when he's in charge of the ball and can use fakes. But in terms of reacting to someone and then relying purely on speed, he doesn't have that.
Yeah, so he's slowly improving on defense, but I mean, even if you got, I was going to say the best defenders, even if you go at, if you find a play that's perfect to exploit a certain, even the best defenders, I will say, it's very rare that, if you just keep going and going and going at the same play that they don't like, that that defender is going to end up looking good.
Yeah.
Any player is going to look shit. They're going to have a good couple of tens of points scored on them if you keep running their least favourite play on them.
Rudy Gobert is probably the best defender of this generation. Him and Draymond, Kawhi.
Yeah.
But the Clippers made him look like a terrible defender last year.
That's it. So
you can make anyone look bad if you exploit the rest of the team and, pin it on one guy.
Yeah. So that's what they were doing, the Suns in the first series, in the Phoenix series.
Yeah.
And now we go back to Dallas and just Dorian Finney-Smith, man.
Hitting threes.
Dorian Finney-Smith. They gave him a lot of money.
4 years, 80 mil?
I don't know, something like that. But
Underpaying him.
Underpaying him, yeah. So he is really good. They still don't have Tim Hardaway Jr., which I didn't know. And I didn't sort of keep track of that. Imagine if they had Tim Hardaway Jr.
Mate, this Mavs team, if they get through Phoenix, they match up pretty well against Golden State.
Yeah. It could be a Sixers Mavs finals. Anyway, but so Dorian Finney-Smith and Luka, did you see the CP3 stuff with the Mavs fans?
I haven't seen every video was just the bench, but I didn't actually see what happened.
I don't think I've seen it either. I don't know if there is a clip, but there might be. But from what I understand, this kid or someone...
He looked like 18.
Yeah,
17, 18,
someone actually hugged the CP3's mum or something like that. Or
put his hands on her, that's all.
Touched her or something like that. Not in a sexual way, I don't even know, but it's not good. And CP3 is like full yelling at him, and he's like a kid, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? That's a strange one. Like, can CP3 go back back onto the microphone in the press conference and be like, oh, that guy can see me outside? He was yelling at me. He's yelling at him, I'll see you outside. And he's like a
Bizarre.
kid.
It's odd.
Yeah. Anyway, so CP3 was rattled. He had 5 points fouled out in Game 4 in Dallas. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this is not the ceiling of NBA talent, this Phoenix Suns team. I know Dallas are very good, but you can't tell me that a full strength, I'll just go back to Clippers.
You're always going back to the Clippers.
A full strength Clippers side or a full strength, let's go. I don't like Milwaukee that much in terms of their ceiling. Let's go Lakers bubble, all right? Because that was before they made stupid decisions. But the guys are still there, LeBron and AD. LeBron and AD, without being idiots, you can't tell me that they're doing what Phoenix are doing. Like nearly, a series was almost made out of they won in 6 against Pelicans, and now it's a 3-game series against the Mavs.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't think they're far and away the best team in the league.
No.
They played very good regular season basketball, but they're struggling. Like, Luka is loving the matchup against Bridges at the moment because he's just backing him down.
Far and away the best player in the series?
Yes, far and away.
And that's sort of the point of what I'm trying to say.
Luka's been
with that.
unbelievable.
Yep. He's I don't know, whatever. I've been copying it from all everywhere, even on the Bronx Cheer football show.
On the talk.
Even on everywhere, because I've been saying in, different sports and stuff that I really just wish I would like to see the top talent there at the end. I say it in all sports. And we sort of don't have that, with the Suns. Anyway, sorry, I won't keep going on. But the Suns, let's go from here. So what do you think is going to happen from here? We're going back to Phoenix.
You need to keep putting Luka in the pick and roll.
Yep.
That's number one. Number two is you got to double early, get the ball out of his hands. Let the others beat you. The thing that Luka is very good at is when he gets doubled, obviously he's an elite passer, so he doesn't turn it over all that often. And he just goes and sits down in the post. Whereas someone like James Harden back in the day, one of his biggest criticisms, and Westbrook as well, was they pass it off, they wait.
Yeah.
Whereas Luka's like, all right, I'll go in the post. The guy you've got guarding me weighs 40 pounds less. I'm 3 inches taller. I'll just sit in the post, give him the ball back.
Yeah.
So, and that's what, Bridges has been struggling is with, dealing with Luka backing him down. So you just got to double him, and that's it. Phoenix are a very good team, especially defensively, and they rotate so well because they can all switch. If you're playing a 3-on-4 basketball because you've doubled Luka, and you're trying to make, Jalen Brunson's been playing very well. So is Dorian Finney-Smith, but I think that's your best bet. Make them beat you.
Yeah. I think that Devin Booker would have to turn into... Can I even say 1B? 1B to Luka in this series. Because he's not 1B anywhere near it. It's Devin Booker. 1B to Luka in this series for the Suns to comfortably win this series.
So I think it needs to be Chris Paul that wins it. I think Chris Paul's their most
No, but I
important
think
player.
Chris Paul is... So if Luka's 1, one. I think Chris Paul is clearly 2. For me, at least.
You're thinking you need Booker to step up.
Yes. I need now Booker to jump up defensively and offensively because he's a bit... What is he on defense? A bit sort of...
Turnstile-y.
A little bit turnstile. He's a bit... Yeah, he's a bit paper thin. I need Booker to go crazy. I need the best Booker we can get to be 1 beat in the series to Luka. CP3 is going to come back angry, and then they can really put the foot down as, we are the best. We are the 64-win Suns.
I think as well, Crowder needs to take Luka.
Oh, Crowder, the guy who passed Anthony Davis in playoff points. Fuck you. Fucking Data Davis.
No, but I think Crowder... Luka's got him for pace.
Yeah.
But I liked Phoenix's defense enough where if he gets past the first man, they can meet him at the free throw line. They're good enough to switch onto him like that. But it's the backing down, getting into the paint is what's killing them at the moment. Crowder, much bulkier than Bridges is, nowhere near as quick, but I think that's a better option to stop slowing him down.
Yep. All right. Well, so from here, we didn't even do predictions, but from here, what are you seeing? Is there a swing game 5?
Suns in 7.
Okay.
They've shown us all years that they are the better team.
Yep.
But that's what we love about NBA basketball. The best player can take over a series.
Yep.
I'm still going Suns in 7, but it's on Luka.
Who knows? For me, it's a very 50-50 at this point. Something's like gnawing at me to say Mavs in 7. It goes back to Phoenix after these two, and then Luka just goes nuts. Maybe doesn't even go on the bench type thing. Anyway, but yeah, probably Suns. Did we do prediction? Oh, we did. Warriors probably going to take it out. All right, the last series that we're going to talk about. I didn't mean to make it the last series to talk about. Not. Anyway, so last week's episode we're not putting that up of us chatting, but basically after the Toronto series, it was like, geez, we're looking all right. And then the news broke. Joel's eye broken. And me being a diehard Philly sports fan, I was like, okay, he'll put the mask on for game 2. But some of the reports about so normally Danny Green was saying on his podcast that normally the guys, when they get on the plane or whatever, they play cards. Joel plays cards, they sit there. Joel got on the plane after that game 6 in Toronto. Towel over his head, was just sitting there just looking like dead and was trying to avoid the lights and stuff like that. He was truly concussed. And that made me so sad.
Made me quite happy.
That made me so sad.
I liked knowing you'd be miserable. Especially when I didn't hear from you.
And then, you know what? I said this to you last week after game 1, and because we're not showing that. Those first 2 games that the Miami Heat the Miami Heat won without Joel Embiid playing, they didn't look that flash. And they truly, to me, I came out and said that when everyone's healthy, the Heat to me look like the 4th best team left in the East.
Fake 1 seed. We've said it all season.
That's right. And look what happens. Joel comes back on fucking 1 eye and 1 thumb.
convincing as well.
And he's you know, his presence is what's making the difference.
Bam's done nothing.
Yes, his presence is what's making the difference. He hasn't even had one of his normal games yet. And look what happens in these 2 games in Philly.
James Harden, he's back.
James Harden had his first what are you going to call
Statement
it?
game.
Statement game. But a lot of it is just when the threes go in. If the three's going in, we might win the championship, to be quite
That's
honest.
the
For
thing.
James
He still doesn't have the speed to take people off the dribble, but
No.
his step back 3 is still unguardable.
Yeah.
And if it's on, it's on.
Can't underrate how good of a playmaker he is. He is truly an unbelievable playmaker. But in general, I just can't believe this Miami team. How did they get the 1 seed? Did
Good
anyone?
team basketball.
Was anyone sort of paying attention? They're not even playing Duncan Robinson, and they can't hit a 3 to save their own
He hit
life.
7 threes in game 1 of the first round series and hasn't played again.
Why? Anyway, why? I don't know. I'd be chucking. I reckon we might see him game 5 in Miami because they can't hit a 3 to save their life.
I said this a while ago. 3-point specialists are dying in the NBA. You cannot be a specialist of one thing anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be rebounding specialist. Reggie Bullock. No, what's his name? This is going to kill me.
Not Reggie Bullock.
No, he still plays.
Not Reggie Miller.
Fuck. How am I forgetting this bloke's name? Reggie Evans.
Reggie Evans.
Come in there, 10 rebounds in 3 minutes, and he would just get you extra possessions.
Sounds like Zebo. Okay.
Zebo could play basketball, though.
Yeah, I know.
But now, a 3-point, everyone can shoot the 3 now.
Yeah.
So have someone that all they do is shoot 3s. It's so easy to defend. And you just go at them on offense.
I just think with how shit their offense looks, Miami, I just think they need a bit more offense because they got a lot of defense. Anyway, but we might not see him. But Doc has actually coached this series surprisingly well. Tobias Harris, when Embiid was out at least, was pretty great. But anyway...
Pretty great. Does that mean good?
Good. Before it was Embiid came back for game 3, I went into a place of, hearing that he couldn't even look at his phone, all this sort of stuff. I went into a place that I rarely ever go to. I was like, you know what? No. I was like, don't bring him back. That sounds terrible. That sounds fucked. Like, I couldn't imagine that. Like what they were describing. Have you ever been concussed?
Once.
I have not. Was it fucked?
Everything went green and I vomited. That's all I remember. So
Yeah. Is that why you chose the Celtics?
It was.
Anyway,
That's how much I love him.
hearing these things, I was so sad for Joel. And then when he fucking came back for that game 3, and then when Bam accidentally got him in the face late in the game, I actually got a bit emotional. And I've said
Hard on the sleeve type stuff.
I've
from
said
Nafe.
many times that Stephen Curry is my favorite player, like currently and ever. Nah,
No, he's not.
it's Joel.
It's always been Joel.
Joel, he should not be back, man. He's got a broken eye and a torn ligament in his thumb, and this man is putting this city on his back. He wants to play for Philadelphia for the whole of his career. And even if he does, and when he does leave because of circumstances, when we get back to shit, happens to every team, I will say, that's okay. Go and chase a ring. You'll already have a ring. Let's be honest. But, man, him coming back for game 3, man, that got me in the heart. I was
You know what? We haven't actually mentioned this yet. Jokic officially MVP.
Yeah. Well,
When they announced that, which they did, and he hasn't been presented a trophy yet,
yeah.
but Joel 50-piece incoming.
Well, it's probably the perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect
Philly
timing.
fans are loving this.
Maybe what do you reckon? Darren Morey found a way to get Woj or someone to leak
They
it?
leaked it it was like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, our time.
Pacific time.
Oh, their time.
Yeah.
It was late last night. Or was it this morning?
Yeah.
It was late last night, our time. Yeah. Anyway, perfect timing because we play the Heat in Miami.
Yeah.
All right. So that's just a whole bunch of me saying that I still just think the universe doesn't like me a lot. And the universe doesn't like Philly.
So say Miami, so Philly might win because
So
your predictions are always wrong.
I just think that 92% chance when you go 2 up, I just don't know if the odds are going to... I don't think we've got an 8%... We're going to prevail with the 8% chance.
It's hard to win 2 games in Miami.
That's right. However, I do think we can. We're better than them. I'm sorry, but we are, and I'm not just being biased. Miami are the fourth best team. You know, we might not be better than you or Milwaukee, but we're better than them, man. They're shit. Jimmy dropped 40 points, man.
Kyle Lowry is struggling.
Yes, he shouldn't be playing. Him playing is helping us because he's playing on one hamstring, doing shit.
Better than Gabe Vincent being out there.
What?
Running the point.
What the fuck? Anyway, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of words that I've just blurted out, but the point is, I'm scared because I think all this happiness is just going to be met with the universe again in Miami.
The Philly curse.
But man, we deserve to be in that conference finals this time. This time we do.
Second round Embiid.
I said to
belongs there.
my Miami mate, we had some heated fights. One heated fight. But I said to him, and can you agree, the Bucks or the Celtics, even currently as constructed, both teams, more so Milwaukee without Middleton, would laugh in the face of Miami.
I'm not stressed at Miami at all. If we beat Milwaukee, I'm thinking, who we got in the finals?
Jimmy Butler, that's right. Jimmy Butler just dropped 40 points and we still, comfortably beat them. We still were never worried. That's what else have they got? Lowry, even if he was healthy, he's not his old self. But he's not healthy.
He's not even close.
Fuck Miami, man. If we fuck this up,
Which you will.
because
I think Miami's getting through.
because of the fucking injury. But anyway, low key, and just we haven't even sort of said it yet, but could be Sixers Celtics conference finals. That was sort of brewing before this round came up, and then I didn't say it because we went down 0-2, but now it could be Sixers Celtics.
We've got 2 3-game series coming up.
So your manager Steph's not listening. So what are you doing? You're taking those days off?
Flying to Boston.
Fly to Boston. Mate. Anyway, the Sixers, man, they're so much better than the Heat. Which is funny. What are the Heat going to do?
I don't know. I feel like obviously they're still one of the best teams in the NBA. But I kind of do feel like they're in no man's land.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of money on...
A lot of age.
Yeah.
A lot of money, a lot of age.
I don't know.
Bam.
I've still got that gut feeling though that Miami's going to get through. I don't know why.
But only because they've got the 2 games on their belt.
The home court advantage.
100,000% Philly would have gotten at least one of those games in Miami.
If Joel was healthy from the start, I think Philly gets through.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, so that's very, very sad for me. But I just wanted to say that, man, when Bam actually got Joel on the face and Joel went down holding his face, I got emotional because I was like, man, I love this guy.
That's how I felt when Al was when he had 16 points in the fourth. I was like, I've missed you, Daddy. I missed you so much. You handsome Dominican man. It's beautiful.
Anyway, playoff basketball.
It's
Jesus. We're right in the thick of it. So you've got Miami.
I've got Miami.
Yep.
I just have that gut feeling.
What's happening game 6?
I think Miami in 7.
Yeah, they're not going to win in Philly. Miami.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say a prediction because I'm trying to get the universe.
Boston in 7. Nah, Boston in 6.
You used Milwaukee before.
Yeah, Boston in 6.
Yeah, fuck.
It's happening.
Who's the best team in the NBA right now? Is it still Phoenix? That one's a tricky one. Without Middleton. That one is a fucking tricky one. I just thought of it right now. Who's the best team in the NBA right now?
I reckon it's a tie between Boston and Milwaukee. Honestly, right now, I think they are playing the best basketball of any 2 teams.
I think nah. Then you'd have to get up into matchups. I reckon Phoenix and Boston would be an unbelievable series.
Golden State doesn't scare me. Phoenix, I think we match up well with them.
Yeah.
Just Giannis, man.
Giannis. This is what I talk about, the top end talent. Anyway, who would you have from here is another question to win it all. Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's the one for me that's still... And this is a lot of PTSD coming through as well. I've seen what Giannis can do. I've seen what Chris Middleton can do. If he comes back, I don't see anyone beating them
Yeah.
except Boston.
That's hard, man. How likely are the Mavs? I'm just throwing out the
They're a chance.
questions to get to the finals.
Yeah.
Serious,
They are a
aren't
chance.
they? Yeah.
I like them against Golden State more than I do against Phoenix.
Yeah. The Mavs are a serious chance to get to the finals.
I think the reason why it's either Boston or Milwaukee for me is I think Boston's the only team left that can defend Giannis.
I think without Middleton, this sounds funny, but without Middleton, I think Miami would be all right.
Yeah, Bam will do a good job. But they don't have, you need secondary defenders.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They've got a lot of those types of guys.
But, like, I think the best two defenders at Giannis at the moment in the whole league probably are Al and Grant Williams.
yeah.
He's perfectly made for it. It's what Semi Ojeleye was meant to be.
Where's he now? Utah? No.
Yeah, I think he's Utah.
Utah?
Who knows?
Who he play for? We still haven't played that.
He should be out of the league.
He should be out of the league.
That's who he should. He just... You know what I loved? The Boston media. As part of the media, you're meant to hype people up from your team. That's just how it goes. But the thing they would always do with Semi is like, oh, after the game, man, they were playing and we could just hear the weights going and he was throwing medicine balls around. And it's like, because you didn't get on the fucking court. You had to do a full workout because you didn't do anything.
That's like, I'm sure that Drew Hanlon, our old mate, he's probably having the worst day of his life. Man, he was going crazy.
His Twitter was unbearable.
On the Joel.
The stats he was pulling.
campaigning, yeah.
But then hating on advanced stats, but then making up absolute rubbish. Like the stats he was saying for Joel, just completely cherry picked. It was very funny.
Can I just say though, and I'm sorry, I just have to, that while Jokic might have deserved it, right at this moment right now, it's like him getting that award while Embiid's doing what he's doing, come back with the eye, with the thumb. Sixers are unbelievably better with him. It was a bit of like no matter
it's a
no matter
shit
who,
award,
apart from if you're a Denver fan, like even you who's anti-Philly and pro Jokic, even you've got to admit when Jokic got awarded that today, you're like, oh yeah, fuck Philly, fucking beat. But you're sort of like,
I just feel bad for him, for Jokic.
What?
In terms of like, not like the criticism of him, but like everyone knows Denver would still be in it now if they were healthy.
Yeah.
And he's had one of the best seasons ever in terms of what an individual can do, and he's done everything he could to get pants in the first round. And it's like, I just feel bad for him. Like the way that you look at Embiid thinking like, man, he deserves a championship. Look how much he's fighting. Jokic did that every single night as well.
Yeah.
And he deserves it just as like they worked so hard, the two of them. And one of them's team fell apart. And the other ones didn't.
I just think that because what I was trying to say was, I think because Embiid is still in, like it came at a perfect time for us coming into Game 5, the news. But it's just like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Like, Jesus, like this guy's literally playing with a broken eye and a fucking torn ligament in his thumb.
They need to fix when they announce these awards. Like it's just
they had the awards show at the end of they've obviously scrapped
that was the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it was
after the
worst.
playoffs.
Yeah,
so stupid.
Waited too long. Yeah, I don't know.
It should be in the first round. Announce them all because the MVP is always gonna be playing in the first round. Do it in front of their home court.
Maybe they should do it like literally. You know, there's they got the planes now. I was gonna say, you know, there's normally like a 4-day gap
before Game 2 of the MVP's first round.
Yeah.
That's when they should announce it.
Okay. Anyway, that's it for this week.
No, one more thing. Coach of the Year. They announced it.
Yeah, whatever.
But
Monty Williams,
as we knew, probably didn't deserve it.
Tyler Hero.
We knew what they could do.
Yep.
But what did we say during the pod is it's always the coach that deserves it last year. So if you're a betting person, get on Taylor Jenkins for 2023 Coach of the Year because
get on him.
You can guarantee it.
There's JL's gambling advice for gambler responsibly.
I don't gamble is my advice. I fucking hate that shit.
Gamble responsibly.
Don't gamble. But if you're going to, listen to me.
When do I tell you that we've got a gambling sponsor coming on the show?
Gamble as much as you can.
Bet. Nah. All right. Well, anyway, so last week we recorded a segment, and we're plugging that into this week. So you and I are about to magically change clothes, JL. What?
Can you edit it so it, like
You know, I do that with the other guys. Aaron
Mine's
does
not-
a click sometimes. All
my
right.
click doesn't sound good today?
Well,
That's better.
all right. So yeah. All right. You want to do the click? All right. So we're about to change clothes and bring you a segment, and the segment is what was it?
It was the best starting five.
Yeah, the
Right
best
now.
a
And
draft.
then now Embiid's back. Now I look like an idiot.
Yeah, I chose Embiid, didn't I?
Yeah, and I happily was like, "Oh, you take him. I don't want him.
Yeah.
he's injured.
Um,
Now he's back."
best. It was like a draft of the best players in the playoffs left. Anyway, all right. So give it to us.
Ready?
Yeah.
I'm not. I want to just enjoy this a bit longer.
All right. Well, while you do that, if you're new to the show, hit that subscribe button and that notifications bell. And yeah, Jay, I'll give us a click. 3, 2. So this week we're doing. So there was a few discussions going around the internet of who is actually the best player or players left in the playoffs. So, you know,
Davis Bertans.
we thought we'd go with DeAndre Jordan. No, we thought we'd do a draft, a starting 5 each of the best players left in the playoffs. All right. So what are we flipping?
Paper, scissors, rock.
Paper, scissors, rock.
Best of one.
Best of one. All right.
Paper, scissors, rock. There you go.
Got to go rock. All right. So I'll start.
You get pick 1.
Yep.
I get picks 2 and 3.
Mm.
You get 4 and 5 and so on.
Yep. So the way I want us to both approach this is it's a very right now pick. And when I say right now, so you can pick someone who's injured. So we discussed, of course, Joel before the show. If you think that Joel or Lowry, I don't think I'll let Middleton be picked because
We already know he's out for the series.
he's out for the series. He might not even come back. That's just like totally injured. Whereas right now, Joel, Lowry, these types of players, they could come back next game and be ready. The type of injuries.
So we're factoring in their current injuries.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, if I was going to pick Joel Embiid over DeAndre Jordan,
Yeah.
I would be saying arguably 2 games of Embiid would be more impactful than a full series of Jordan.
Yes.
But that's the argument though. Is like I'm taking the health. I know that he's not going to play for a bit,
Yeah.
but I think he's that good when he comes back.
Yeah. Okay. With the mask. The phantom of the process. Love that name.
I want the black carbon masks to come back that LeBron wore. They
Yeah.
were the fucking toughest things
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Kyrie looked good in it. Kobe looked good in it. Bring it back.
Yeah. Well, Joel, when he wore one against, who do you think? Miami. The Sixers are just like a written book. When he broke his other orbital bone and he came back against Miami and he had the mask on, it was black. He had actually a see-through
Yeah, because you obviously see the eyes is the argument.
Yeah. And he hated it. He hated that thing.
Didn't he take it off early?
He hated it. He took it off, and then I think Justice Winslow stepped on it or something like that. So anyway, I'm not going to cry. So I've got the first pick.
Yep.
In the draft. I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go for the best player, and that is DeAndre Jordan, center. Giannis Antetokounmpo at power forward.
I'm going for the second pick then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe controversial. I don't know.
Oh, don't do this.
I'm going Luka Doncic at point guard.
Oh, wow! I had a scare there.
Marcus Smart at point guard.
Okay. So
should
you've gone
write these
Luka
as I
point
go.
guard. Well, then I have to go center. Oh no, sorry, it's your pick again.
Yeah, I get back-to-back picks here.
Oh no!
My next pick, I'm going at small forward, Jason Tatum.
Of course you are. That was just always coming.
Yeah. I should have picked him second just to piss you off, knowing I had third pick.
At center, I have Joel the Process.
Good. I didn't want him.
Phantom of the Process.
I just think if he only comes back and it's 2-0, 3-0 down, I don't think he's going to make an impact.
No, but I never said impact. I think we always get this jumbled up. It's not about impact. It's about who. If you had to pick, like, you have to count Embiid with the mask. But if you had to pick all these guys to play right now in like who they are right now, Joel with the thumb as well.
Yeah.
You,
Well, if they go into a 7-game series right now,
yes.
and Embiid misses the first few,
No.
isn't that what we said?
No. It's Embiid right now.
That is him right
as
now.
him
He's missing the
playing.
next few games.
No, I mean like him as a player.
Oh, fuck, I don't want to anyway.
Anyway, you don't want him anyway. Okay, so Embiid. And then I'll go point guard. You went Luka.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go point guard Steph
That's
Curry.
why I said might be controversial.
Steph Curry. God, I'm winning this. Let us know whose team is better and who would win. Come on. Easy.
My next pick, I'm going at shooting guard, Devin Booker.
Wow. Okay. That's yours again, yeah?
Yep. Then at center,
Mm.
I'm going DeAndre Ayton.
You're going DeAndre Ayton, not Bam.
Yep.
Whoa, really? Okay.
Because I know who I'm picking my other spot.
Okay. So now it's my turn for my last two.
Mm-hmm.
So for my shooting guard, I'm going the shit player of yesterday, Jalen Brown. And I thought you'd pick him over Booker.
Nah, not this series.
Nah, okay. And then at what haven't I picked?
Small forward.
Small forward. I have to go Jimmy Butler.
Buckets, yeah.
I have to go Jimmy Butler.
And then power forward. Now, this is one I wasn't sure about. There was two players when I was preparing for who I'd pick if you took Giannis first. But I'm going to go Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was going to be Jaren Jackson Jr. He's
Yep.
been playing very well. But I thought I wanted Ayton's offense. I wanted his rebounding, which meant that's why I didn't take Bam, because I could replace Bam's defense with Draymond's defense, and that's why I wanted him. Ball handler.
So you done?
Yep, that's me done.
All right, so my team is at point guard, Stephen Curry. At shooting guard, I have Jalen Brown. Small forward, I have Jimmy Butler. Power forward, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And at center, Joel the Process Embiid.
Who's injured?
Who's injured, but when he's comes back, Phantom.
And
of the
I have at
Process.
point guard Luka Doncic, shooting guard Devin Booker, small forward Jason Tatum, power forward Draymond Green, and at center DeAndre Ayton.
Wow. Well, that's our. So let us know in the comments below whose team is better. Would win. You can let us know that as well. Whose team would win, but whose team is better out of our starting fives that you're seeing down here?
Mine.
All right, now
Oh, that was fun.
we're back to present time.
Can't believe I beat you in that.
Man, you looked good in that jacket.
Mm.
That was so bad. Hope you enjoyed that segment. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Don't forget to subscribe, notifications bell, and JL, I'll see you in the conference finals. Are we saying that?
No, not yet.
Boston's
Boston's making it. You'll see me in the
Oh,
conference
Boston's
finals.
making it. I thought
You'll
you
see
were-
me. I won't see you.
Okay. Well, or maybe we'll see each other on the couch.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Beer in hand.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.